Delete one franchise forever. Let's be honest. Is there anything better than a delete one forever, keep the other options type question? I mean, these are a dime a dozen. I see one probably once a day, every day, but this one in particular absolutely exploded on Twitter. And when one explodes, it's usually because one pick is not obvious. So like it's really hard. There's a lot of good options. So in this case, we have a mix of DreamWorks, Paramount movies. These are all obviously all PG. But yeah, we have these four options. We got Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, and Madagascar. So my first thought, the obvious pick, my first pick, and I thought it was obvious, was How to Train Your Dragon. And the immediate tweet directly below that is, so the first tweet right off the bat, how is How to Train Your Dragon the majority answer? And I think I have an answer to this, but then if you go right down below, How to Train Your Dragon, it's not even close. And it gets even crazier. Madagascar, people think that should be it. And it's kind of like a in between Madagascar and How to Train Your Dragon. It seems like Twitter kind of agreed that Shrek and Kung Fu Panda are keep no matter what. And I kind of wanted to go through each movie and when it was released. So Shrek, and this is franchise. So this is not just Shrek 1, Kung Fu Panda 1, Train Your Dragon 1, Madagascar 1. This is the entire franchise. But I think a lot of people are looking at these movies as one of the movies they watched, or maybe they're looking at the whole franchise, but I think they're looking at like the first one. And that's kind of how I saw it. It's like Shrek 1 was released in 2001. Okay, long time ago. Some of you don't even remember that. Madagascar was released in 2005. Kung Fu Panda 2008. How to Train Your Dragon was in 2010. So what I think is happening is that we have potentially a generational gap where some of these people answering maybe their first movie was How to Train Your Dragon, right? I mean 2001 to 2010, that's a whole 9 years. So like there's potentially some kids on here that are tweeting that they never watched Shrek, or maybe they never got into Shrek because How to Train Your Dragon was there when they were a kid. What you watched as a child can influence you as an adult. So, like for me, Shrek was one of the first movies I watched as a child. Madagascar was one of the first movies I watched as a kid. So, like these two movies in my brain are like these are OGs. These are some of the best. They're goated. Shrek is obviously not. Shrek is on another level, right? I mean, it's unbelievable the power that Shrek has. I mean, he's become. It's Shrek's more than just the movie. It's the memes. I mean, the memes are unbelievable. I mean, there is an infinite amount of memes. This one is undisputed. I mean, it's un. I would say I see an almost an equal amount of Shrek memes to SpongeBob memes, and SpongeBob memes are that's probably the like highest level of memes. There are so many SpongeBob memes. Shrek's up there. I mean, it's undisputed how many memes there are. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we're still getting Shreks. I mean, hell, we're gonna get another Shrek movie here shortly. So, Madagascar, it's a weird one because like I liked the original Madagascar. We're talking about franchise. I didn't really care for two or three, or and there was supposed to be a fourth, and then it got canceled. I think that Madagascar, the first one, I mean, it's just a genuinely funny movie. It's a funny children's movie. I think it holds up too. Let me just state this. I don't think any of these movies are old enough to where they can't stand up to now. All of these movies are still good today. None of them are bad. Like, I'll just get that out of the way. None of these movies are bad. Madagascar is funny. That's a funny movie. Madagascar is one of those movies where, like, I mean, zoo animals breaking out of the zoo and trying to get back to the wild. I mean, it's unbelievable, dude. And don't even get me started on King Julian. King Julian. I mean, dude, come on. I mean, I adore the memes from those guys. And then the penguins. Bro, the penguins were so funny that they got their own movie. That's insane, dude. They're so funny. And they're such a small part of the movie. But it just like everything about the whole movie's funny. Kung Fu Panda, I mean, can you go wrong with Jack Black? I mean, we just had Minecraft movie. He's been in Mario. He was in Borderlands that flopped, but whatever. Jumanji. I mean, and I can go back as far as I want, but like Jack Black is hard to beat, dude. It's always funny when he's in a movie. There's a lot of moments in this movie where it's like it gets heavy. It's very philosophical. But Kung Fu Panda, there's no shot that you can get rid of Kung Fu Panda. I mean, this is goated. I mean, who doesn't love Master Uwe? I mean, come on, what are we talking about? This guy is a legend. And yeah, can't get rid of him. This is where I think this is where it kind of ends for me is How to Train a Dragon. I watched this movie once and then like bits and pieces of it after that. It didn't do anything for me. And I think the problem is by the time this movie came out, I was in high school and I wasn't really super excited about watching another, animated movie in high school. I just there wasn't I didn't have any friends that were excited about How to Train Your Dragon. My parents were like, "Hey, How to Train Your Dragon's out. You better go watch it." Like there wasn't really any influence for me to go watch it. And maybe that's a reason why I don't really care for it, but there's not really any there's not really any heavy hitting How to Train Your Dragon memes, and none of them I really think are funny. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna plant my flag and say it now. How to Train Your Dragon is one that's got to go. I'm keeping Shrek. I'm keeping Kung Fu Panda. I'm keeping Madagascar, and that's where I stand. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I think there's a generation gap on some of these comments where people watched How to Train Your Dragon because at that point they were a kid when they were watching it. And for some of us, How to Train Your Dragon came so late into our life that it didn't hit the same. And I think all these movies hold up to this day. Like they're still really good movies, and I think the franchises on all of them are still great. But if I gotta go, if one's gotta go, I think it's gotta be How to Train Your Dragon. That's the one. I mean, Shrek is uh god level tier, S tier. Kung Fu Panda is great. Madagascar is great. How to Train Your Dragon is like take it or leave it for me. It doesn't really matter to me. But what do you guys think? Were you part of this? Did you see this tweet? You guys on Twitter? I don't know if everyone's on Twitter like I am. But what do you guys think? Is there an obvious pick? Were these movies that you guys watched as a kid? If you're a lot older than I am, I'm 30. Some of these movies you might not even have seen or even seen any in the franchise. So I'm curious your guys' thoughts. I'd love to hear.